Hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? Hey Digi. Hey the Hood Table. Hey Almighty Isis. How's everybody doing? Well, I just want to can y'all let me know if y'all can hear me or not before I get started? Y'all know how it is. Hey Blue Stars, how you doing? So I hope everybody got out and voted today. I know that we have a lot of people saying, why bother to vote? Your vote doesn't count. We talked about this a little bit yesterday at the end of my video. It is important for us, melanated people in particular, to get out and vote because that right is trying to be taken. Thank you, the Hood Table. I know that's right, the Hood Table, right? Thank you guys for letting me know y'all can hear me. It is important for us to exercise our right to vote. Number one being, it's because our ancestors, our elders, fought for us to have this civil right. All right. It is also important because they are trying to take our vote away from us. They are making it harder and harder. Um, Good for you, Almighty ISIS, for us to vote, right? Just throwing in every little thing that they can, every little roadblock that they can, in order to attempt to control not only the way that we vote, the right to take to, and also in order to take away that right, okay. And also they don't want us to vote, but they need our vote. So I feel like it's double minded, but they feel like at the end of the day, if they could take away our vote, they won't have to worry about it anymore, right? And so just I didn't even pay attention to Dana Shay because I want to come on and have a conversation, child. But I'm not surprised. You got a lot of coons and coonettes um out here doing the work for the system. And so when you're doing the work for the system, do you realize that you're working against your people? And anytime you are doing the work of the system, you are working against not only your people but yourself as well. So if they feel like they want to work for the system and become coons and coonettes, and let them do it. That's on them. Let them do it. But we don't have to listen to that. Hey, True Black. Hey, everybody that came in, by the way. We don't have to listen to that. Ignorance is as ignorance does. You know, but for a lot of us, we don't even bother listening to that. So I hope that we got out and exercised our right to vote, especially us melanated people. I'm not even worried about who you voted for. I'm worried about the fact that you get out and vote. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to vote via your conscience, right? What is your less evil, right? And what I mean by that is we know that neither party is in favor of wants to support us melanated people. And we are in part to blame for that. It's because we help vote these people in, but we don't advocate. Do you see what I'm saying? After we vote them in, we just kind of forget about it and hope that they will do the right thing. They are not. They are like children. They are not going to do the right thing unless you make them do the right thing, right? And we don't make them do the right thing. But what I mean by that is we don't advocate for ourselves, right? So we have to take some part in the fact that when you see somebody saying, "Well, don't vote. Your vote don't count. It don't matter anyway." Well, that is in part our fault because we don't advocate, right? So my issue is getting us to the polls, right? So if we could start to realize that our vote does in fact count. It don't matter if you got 50 melanated people telling you not to vote and your vote don't count because they ain't nothing but coons and coonettes, right? You know that your ancestors ancestors, your elders fought and died for you to have this right to vote. Now, were it not important, they would not have been out protesting and fighting and dying and martyring themselves in order for you to have that right. Right? That's right. Where is the logic in I'm not voting? It doesn't make sense to me, right? So, like I said, but after you vote for these people, you have to advocate, continue to advocate for yourself. We don't do that. We got a whole black caucus, right up there in Washington. They do not advocate for us because we do not hold their feet to the fire. We don't require anything from them. And if we can't even muster enough strength to hold the Black Caucus to the fire, what hope do we have for holding any of the Anglo elected officials to the fire? We can't even do that. But like I said, um, okay, yummy yums. Do you know what? That's absolutely your right to exercise. If you feel that it's rigged, then you feel that it's rigged. Okay, rigged. Whether you feel that it's rigged or not, that is of no consequence to me. It's because I advocate for us voting because they want to take that right away from you, and don't let them do it. Okay, I'm not gonna argue that fact today, but I do want to talk about something else. I have been telling you guys for a couple of days that we were going to talk about the hey Anthony Dixon, hey everybody that came in, please hit the like button. Hey Tisa, hey everybody, right? And I really just let me speak, give one blanket because I'm excited about this conversation today. Okay, so because it is election day, and because for a couple of weeks now we've been talking about the Kanye West situation, and those comments that he made that they called anti-Semitic, right? And then we had Kyrie Irving. The only thing that Kyrie Irving did was share a video called Hebrews to Negroes, and they wanted to put the slap the anti-Semitic name tag on him, and all he did was share a video. He did not write this video. He did not direct it. He did not write the book. Is what I mean to say. He did not direct the docu series or anything like that. He only shared the video. Right? They wanted him to apologize. It took him a couple of days to swallow his pride, and apologize. They said it wasn't enough, so they suspended him. The owner of the team says he wants to trade him. They're trying to destroy this black man for standing up to himself simply because he knows who he is, right? So he went on and apologized for if he hurt somebody, right? He did not, however, go as far as apologizing for sharing the video because he just shared the video. Now, I don't understand how you can be called anti-Semitic for sharing a video, right? Because he didn't do any extra commentary. He simply shared the video because he is he knows who he is, right? And if he feels that his lineage derives from black Hebrews, then that's what it is, right? A lot of us do. A lot of people feel like melanated people here in the United States of America, we are set apart because we have a purpose. I tend to agree with that. I absolutely tend to agree with that, right? I absolutely tend to agree with that. And then make it so bad that they did all this to this man. What they did was try to buck break Kanye West. We all know what buck breaking means, right? They try to buck break Kanye West. They try to buck break Kyrie Irving. Especially anytime a black man, you have to wonder why are they so just like they broke what was his name, the little fella, Nick Cannon, when he had what is his name on the show, because he said he was trying to find out who he was, and he felt like he was Hebrew Israelite, right? Professor was it yeah, Professor Grift on his show, and he wasn't, it wasn't I listened to the show. There was nothing said that was anti-Semitic for me. What got me about Kanye West is they felt like he was being anti-Semitic, and he had to go look up the definition of the word to see if what he said was anti-Semitic. Now, via the definition, okay, he was anti-Semitic. But was it hate speech? No, not in my opinion. But what made me feel good about the whole thing when it comes to Kanye But moreover, Kyrie Irving, is that a lot of black men, um, got behind him, right? A lot of people, even now you have black men making videos and tweets and all this support, in support of Kyrie Irving, because all he did at the end of the day was share a video, right? So my issue is, and a lot of people issue is, why didn't they come after Amazon? Because Amazon is the one that was renting, is still renting, and asking you to buy the video. You can rent it or you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy the book on Amazon. Now the ADL, the Anti Defamation League, quietly asked Amazon to remove the video. Amazon did not remove the video, and there has been nothing else from the ADL said about it that I've read. But I had to read online about the ADL asking them to remove the video from the streaming platform. And like I said, they last time I checked, they did not remove the video, right? So Kyrie didn't say that he believed everything that was in the video. He just shared the video. So why do you want to break Kyrie Irving? Because he is a controversial black man. He is outspoken. He stands on what he believes, and to the system of white supremacy, racism, that is a problem. Okay. Anytime you get a black man that is willing to stand up and say what he truly believes, they are going to buck break him and try to beat him down. Right? Same as they did Kanye. Kanye don't care. Kanye's still gonna be Kanye, right? So for a lot of reasons, Kanye is free, right? So, but for somebody like Kyrie Irving that still wants to play ball, he, of course, he still want to make his money, in his career. Why break him down and intimidate him into silence, right? So that is the reason why the video is titled the way that it is titled. It's called Sound Bites. Now, the reason also I titled the video that is because let's take Kanye West and Sound Bites, right? So what I meant by sound bites was, y'all remember when, what was it, 2019, 2020, or something like that? Kanye made the statement that slavery was a choice, right? Same time black challenge big business rents finally they are stripped of all the riches. Right. And nobody really, at the end of the day, you don't find a lot of people that are willing to martyr themselves, right? You don't find a lot of people that want to martyr themselves, right? And so for that reason, because we know that we live in a capitalistic society, we know that money gives you a sense of comfort. When it comes to black people, I think that a lot of black people have learned that it don't matter if you have $1 billion, you still ain't got no power. And I think Kanye had to learn that the hard way, right? But you do have power. They want you to, but they have given you the illusion of power. But true power comes with freedom, right? That's what we know. And true freedom doesn't cost anything. You simply have to wake up. But if you are an athlete or an entertainer or somebody that is visible or notable, you know, you will pretty much have to martyr yourself in order to be free. Okay. We saw Will Smith doing that a little bit. For a long time, I thought what Will Smith did was staged, and I'm not 100% sure that when he slapped Chris Rock, it wasn't all the way staged. And then, but Will Smith, on a different note, he got a movie coming out called Emancipation, right? It's gonna be on Amazon. It's gonna be on Apple TV, I believe, and it's coming out in December, and it's called Emancipation. It's about a slave, a man, that was he freed himself, and went back to free his family and many other people. The name of the movie is Emancipation. I can't wait till it's come out, and it's a Will Smith movie, right? So in a sense, I felt like I think that when it comes to all black men, we know that they bear a burden, right? We know that because of the system of white supremacy, racism, we know that a black man is born um, with a target on his back, right? Um, LeBron spoke out against Kyrie, but didn't say anything about Tamir Rice being deleted by the police. Well, I have to. Yes, he did speak out against him, right? Because I feel like if they got a coon themselves, like if somebody, hey Cloud, if somebody making them coon themselves, if you ain't got nothing, if you don't have nothing nice to say in support of this black man, then you shouldn't say nothing at all. Because LeBron ain't the only one. We had a lot of them speak out against Kanye as well as Kyrie. Do you see what I'm saying? But more, I'm happy to see that some black men, not a lot of professionals, but some of them did speak up. You know, and so yeah. Yeah, no, they won't do it. It'll never get off the ground, Sammy. But yeah, they do have enough money to do that. Didn't what is his name? P Diddy attempt to start his own football, his own NFL team or something like that. The Canada reporter spoken out recently on how Kyrie is being treated. I believe equating it to how he was treated. Well, good for him. Good for him, because they did silence via sound bites. Let I don't get too far away. Claudia, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you can stay and kind of monitor the chat for me on and off. I know you're uh busy right now, but I hope you can do that for me, because I really want to get into this subject. Jay-Z and Jeff Bezos are trying to buy the Washington football. Is that right? LeBron and Kyrie. Oh, they don't like each other, but there's a little. Oh wow, yeah, that's yeah. Uh-huh. If Will would have kept quiet, we would have thought it was part of the show. You know what? You're right about that. I agree with that. We would have, cause the slap looked fake as all outdoors. Honestly. So I still don't know if him and what's his name, the old boy was in the background. You're like, man, I need you to help me do this. Okay, I'm tired. So I don't even know, but yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm So anyway, um, let's talk about sound bites. The first thing I put on my title. Somebody type the title of my video. Could you type it so I can see it so I won't forget anything? But I know the first thing on there was sound bites. Now the reason why I said I put sound bites in the title of the video, is because I said, y'all remember when Kanye said that slavery was a slavery was a choice, right? Hey, Miss Wanna. Hey, everybody that's coming in. Please hit the like button. When he said slavery was a choice. See, that's not the only thing that Kanye said. Also, he talked about the what is he called? Wasn't it Russell Simmons calls them the untouchables, right? So we're gonna call them the untouchables as well. So hit the one if y'all know who I'm talking about. Because we have been talking about anti-Semitism, and we are going to call them the ruler. We are going to call them the untouchables for any future comments in the comment section, right? Let's call them the untouchables, right? Yes, and Floyd Mayweather come out in defense of Kyrie Irving as well. They are, as a matter of fact, Cloud, did you hear that Floyd Mayweather and who else? Kyrie and somebody else, they're going to be giving money to Isaiah Washington because Isaiah Washington is want to do some kind of black documentary, some black historical documentary or movie or something like that. Because they tried to destroy Isaiah Washington as well, and they said he was homophobic. hmm hmm And so, yeah, we get counseled. I know that's right, Donna. I know that's right. You are absolutely right about that, and I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, y'all please hit the okay. So, well, we talking about the untouchables, right? So let's use the word untouchables. What I mean, when you type your comment, don't use that four-letter word. Let's use the word untouchables, right? So anyway, when I said sound bites, what they did was he spoke some what they are calling. He was talking about the Jewish peoples and how they controlled. Lord, I went on and said it anyway. The untouchables and how they control the media, and entertainment. Entertainments in all areas. And all sorts of things. Right. He also talked about that, but they cut that out. Right. They cut that out, and they wanted to at that time focus on the fact that he said slavery was a choice. right? They wanted to focus on him saying slavery was a choice, but that was because that was kind of like a slap in the face, a good kiki and a ha ha to melanated people, right? So that's why they didn't mind him saying that. He wasn't counseled for that, right? So what they did was take all the alleged anti-Semitic commentary and they locked it away, right? So because they wanted to save that for a later date. We talked about this before too, right? They didn't say anything about that at that point in time when he was talking about the untouchables, right? So the reason why they did that and they want to lock it away and save it for a regular time is because they thought they could handle him or control him with that secret, right? So we know that a lot sometimes Kanye he act like he crazy and cat piss. He just really does, right? But is there a method to his madness? So was he doing a Will Smith and freeing himself? You have it just makes you wonder, right? Was he even trying to get was he even trying to free himself from Adidas, right? So he could go on to different things, right? So you have to ask yourself that because you can only um hold a person down for so long to where it's like if you're backing somebody in the corner and you are a bully, right? And you're backing a kid in the corner, on the side of the building when you're on the playground at school. And after a while, that kid that's being bullied can't take it no more. And what do? They come out swinging, right? They come out swinging. So maybe this is his attempt to come out swinging so that he can free himself. Same as Will Smith. Same as now Kyrie Irving is just he was just hey saying hey I saw this video. This might be something for you to if you want to enlighten yourself, if you want to be woke, if you want to understand what Kanye was talking about, take a look at this video. So he shared the video, right? So what they want to do, they want to buck break him, right? They want to make him apologize. Then they want to make him say it's not enough. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, Epstein is an untouchable. He is an untouchable. The ruler, he was an untouchable funding Epstein business that was used to blackmail world. He's an untouchable himself. You see his last name, don't you? He's an untouchable. Absolutely. He's one of them. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Mm, mm. Yeah, Kanye said he was drugged up and all this and all of that. And the trainer was said to be the handler and all of this and all that. Right. So we saw all of this go on. We saw all this go on, right? Now what is the so that was a sound bite, right? So they used the sound bite in order to try to blackmail Kanye West, right? So clearly that didn't work, right? So the other thing I had on the title of the video, it was sound bites, and it was I think it was context. What was the title of the video? Yeah, I should have wrote down the title of the video. It was context, and what I meant by context was they want you to hear these little sound bites, right? So they want to hear you. They want to let you hear what Kanye said without any context, right? And so that they can so that they can label it anti-Semitic. And the reason why sound bites, no context. Yeah, they want you to hear this, the sound bite. They add no context to it, and they don't want to add no context to it is because they want to slap a label. Thank you, Almighty Isis. They want to slap a label on it in order to silence what it is that he has to say, right? So they figured if they let you hear the soundbite, they don't add any context, right? They don't want you to hear his explanation for saying what he was saying. They just want to show you the soundbite, and then they're gonna label it anti-Semitic. That's all in an effort to silence him, right? So that they want to silence him so that they can control the narrative, right? So when they slap the label of anti-Semitism on that, you start seeing all these people in the media, some black people, white people, oh, he's anti-Semitic, oh, he's this, that, and the other. So they do that to change the narrative because they don't want you to have the conversation. Okay? Carl said the weird question is why no smoke warning boycott. Yeah, that's what I said earlier, Cloud. Yeah, they the ones that created the documentary. You're absolutely right. Like I said, the Anti-Defamation League quietly asked Amazon to remove the video, and Amazon did not remove the video, nor did they stop selling the book. And so, yeah. And so that is the reason. That is the title of. That is the reason for the title of the video. Sound bites. They want to give you the little snippet. They don't want to add no context to it, so that they can slap a label on it, and so that they can control the narrative, because they don't want us having the conversation, right? Every black celebrity or elite that speaks up for black community are always hit with a sexual assault or word case. Yeah, absolutely, to silence you. It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda. I know that's right, Cloud. It's all propaganda. Okay, but let me tell you. Now we know that propaganda is one tool in the that they use in the system of white supremacy racism, right? We know that it's one tool. Propaganda is a very powerful tool that is used when it comes to the system of white supremacy racism, right? Especially when it comes to melanated people, especially when it comes to melanated people that have a voice, especially when it comes to black men, right? Especially when it comes to black men. Let me tell you, the reason why they wants to keep the black man buck broken and afraid and emasculated, because they fear retribution. If they can control you, they've been doing the same thing since our people, our ancestors got off the boat in this United States of America. They have to buck break the black man, right? They have to keep you subjugated. They have to keep you afraid. They have to keep you emasculated by any means necessary, because they don't want you to lead your people, right? That's why we see so many dysfunctional black men today. But I believe, and they know that, but you know, as the years and years go by, we are in a whole different age of knowing. It is the age of Aquarius. Our eyes are becoming open. We are becoming woke. A lot of us don't want to be woke. A lot of us want to remain sheep, you know, because we like to live in a fairy tale land. We don't want to deal with reality, right? A lot of especially our men, because they have, some of them have been emasculated, right? All of them have the foot on their neck, right? Because they want to keep you in your place. They want to keep you in your place, black man. That's why you act like this, and you don't even realize it. It's because when you've undergone century and century, century after century of programming, right? But some of our brothers are beginning to wake up. That's why they are afraid of a Kanye. That's why they want to slap a label on him to shut him up. That's why they are afraid of a Kyrie Irving, a strong black man that don't want to back down on what he believes in. But the thing is, you haven't had enough yet, because you're still not willing to martyr yourself. Okay? Even Dr. King for a long time, really, I think that at some point in time, he knew he was going to die. I think when he started his journey, he knew he was going to die, right? He knew that he was going to have to martyr himself. Just like Jesus knew that he was going to have to martyr himself, right? And that is what it's going to take. Our men are going to have to start martyring themselves in order to wake us up. And it's going to happen because, like I said earlier, I do believe that we are the true set apart, the true 144,000. I believe that us melanated people, our ancestors, that made way for us to be here today, are the set apart. I believe that we were set apart for a reason. Okay, but that's a video for another day, right? I believe that the untouchables know that we are set apart for a reason. So when you hear somebody like a Kanye West or a Kyrie Irving or even a Nick Cannon say, "Hey, I am Hebrew Israelite. I know who I am. I know my ancestry." That scares the untouchables to death, right? Because all they hear is you trying to claim your birthright. That's what they hear. So they have to keep you subjugated by any means necessary. That's why when you see these black men, they want to stand up. They want to tear them down. They want to take away their money. They want to take away their career, and and just everything. They want to silence them. Or they want to control the narrative, control the conversation. They want to do all that. Even Dr. King, don't you know? As long as Dr. King was protesting for our civil and human rights, but he was advocating for nonviolence, right? Even though they were sicking dogs on us, on our children, right? Our elders' children, our elders and our elders' children that were fighting for us to have civil and human, even hoses and dogs, and beating us with billy sticks and hanging us by the neck. Even though they was doing all of that, he was advocating for what? Non-violence, right? The reason why they killed Dr. King is because he got tired of it. First, he said, I feel like I have led my people into a burning house, right? We know he said that, right? But after that, he said he got tired, he was done, right? He said, we are marching to Washington. We are coming to Washington to get our checks. That's what got him killed. He launched the Poor People's Campaign, right? And he was going to start speaking on reparations. That's what got him killed. They did not want him to have that conversation, right? So they figured at first they were collectively against what Dr. King was advocating for, our civil and human rights, right? But then they decided, hey, okay, we're going to give them the illusion. We're going to give them the illusion of civil rights, because you know what we can do? We can tear their communities apart. We can break them apart. Not only that, we can take away their economic structure, right? We can take away their economic base, right? Because they know you better than you know yourself a lot of the time, right? So that's what they set out to do. But then he did a 360 and said, we going to march to Washington because we coming to our check. We coming for our checks. He wanted to start speaking on and advocating for reparations, right? And speaking on Vietnam too. You're right about that, Claude. You're right about that. They are absolutely afraid of us being united. We don't even have to be united. We have to be on code. That's what we have to be on. We have to be on code, right? Thank you, Diamond Life. We need to be on code. Y'all hit that like button. That's a problem too. But anyway, that is all a prelude to the conversation that I want to have, right? But I had to lead up to it, right? So we're always talking about the system of white supremacy racism, right? So we talked about propaganda as being a tool in a toolbox is white supremacy racism, right? So today I want to talk about, because it is the election, and at the beginning of the video, I urged you to go out and vote. No matter your party, exercise your right to vote for whoever it is that you want to vote for. If you are a melanated person, exercise your right to vote, because they're trying to take it away from you. And your elders and your ancestors that died for you to have that right. Okay? And if you are black and you tell people that you're not voting and your vote don't count, you working for the system, right? You just a coon or a coonette. That's all that you are. Period. You working for them, right? So anyway, I wanted to talk about, because it is election day, and I think it's a wonderful segue, another addition to the Kanye West and Kyrie Irving situation, and how our black men are continually being beat down. They continue to want our black men to be afraid. They don't want them to lead our communities. They don't want them to stand up. They don't want them to start to speak out. And they absolutely don't want them to be willing to martyr themselves, right? Because that is a wind of revolution. Those are the winds of war, okay? And they don't want that, right? So let's talk about another toolbox in the system of white supremacy racism. So another tool in the system, when it comes to the system, is called power domination. Let's talk about white supremacy, power domination. Now, what is power domination? A lot of people don't talk about power domination because we know we have to take some things a little bit at a time, right? So we all know about the system because we live under that system, right? But when it comes to white supremacy, power domination, that breaks down what the system does to keep you oppressed, right? So I don't hear a lot of people breaking that down, okay? But because you have a lot of melanated people having a conversation of not bothering to vote at all, which is you trying to hand over the few freedoms that you have here, I wanted to have the conversation because when it comes to white supremacy, power, domination, that is what that system wants you to do. So, what is white supremacy, power, domination, right? So, when it comes to power, domination, and white supremacy, that system is set up to control the physical and social environment of us melanated people, right? In order to continue to dominate over a whole race of people, there are certain things that they have to maintain control of, right? So the first thing that they have to maintain control of is your physical and social environment, right? Meaning your communities, meaning your family structure, meaning from A to Z, they have to control everything, right? Control it without you knowing it. So the second thing is they have to control and organize behavior in all life activity. Even if you don't know that they are controlling your life activity, they are doing it, right? You know how they're doing it? Y'all remember a good example of that is the Willie Lynch letter, right? Many people have argued for many years that the Willie Lynch letter was not real and it was fake. Whether it was real or fake is not my argument. My stance is that the sentiments in that letter were absolutely true. They were absolutely true. Okay? Even right down to the divide and conquer, right down to them making the female in charge of the family as control of the male, right? Because if they felt like if they could have the female control the family, she could control the black males of the family, and keep them afraid and keep them subjugated, raise them that way so they won't want to rise up when they become adults because what? They fear retribution. They fear revolution, right? So they figure if they put the woman in charge, even to this day, we know that we have a lot of female-led families. We have a lot of female-led families because a lot of our men refuse to take their place. And his place is at the head, but he's endured all of these years of trauma. So he all screwed up in the head. He's afraid. He's afraid to lead, not only his own family, but his own community. Right? So anytime you get a black man that's willing to lead, they're gonna try to do what? They're gonna try to X him out of the equation, right? So, and that is another play when it comes to power domination, right? So power domination, in order to control and organize the behavior and all life activity, power domination has to remain in control of all of your activities in all areas like economics, right? They want to keep us poor. We know this, right? Education, they want to keep you dumb, right? That's why the public school system is such as it is right today, right? We know we have a dumbing down of a whole generation of kids, right? And it started with that No Child Left Behind thing, right? No, I'm not calling Kanye a leader. I'm talking about power domination. I'm not calling him a leader. I'm not calling him a leader at all. I'm not even calling Kyrie a leader, right? Because it's too much trauma. Because if you're still bowing down, in any way, or you're not willing to martyr yourself, you're not a leader. But they don't even want these men standing up, okay? They don't even want them standing up, because if that one man stand up like Kyrie Irving, if he stand up, you will see another man stand up. Like, what is it, Floyd Mayweather? You got thousands of black men, in defense of Kyrie Irving. They got a hashtag going around. I stand with Kyrie Irving, because he simply want to stand up. He shared a video. He shared a video. But anyway, in our areas, they got to control our areas of our lives, right? Though the race that they want to exert this power domination over, which is us, melanated people, they have to control our areas of your life, right? Like I said, they have to control the economics, the education, the entertainment, right? The entertainment. We see these entertainers, they are silent on important issues because they don't want to lose their wealth, because they see what's going to happen. They're going to strip it all away from you and ostracize you, and even use your own people to do it, because they are programmed, right? So entertainment, labor, right? They want to keep you out of a job. Even if you qualified for the job, they won't give you the job. Because why? They have to control your economics. They have to keep you poor. Law. Now, when we know, when it comes to law, there is one system of justice for Anglos, and there is one system of justice for melanated people, to the point they can shoot you down in the street like a dog and still get away with it, right? Politics, right? That's what we're talking about today. They don't want you to have the right to vote. They want to use your own people that are programmed to tell you that your vote don't count. I'm not going to waste my time. Y'all shouldn't waste y'all time. Absolutely, Sada. You're absolutely right. Why y'all voting? Y'all don't need to vote. Why bother? You see what I'm saying? So they control. That's the way. One way that they control politics, right? Also, if you venture into politics and you're a melanated person, they don't want you to have any type of power, right? They know that your people not going to advocate for you, so they ain't worried about it, right? They want to control your religion. We know that since our ancestors were put on the boat and taken off the boat, everything about them was stripped away. Their culture, their religion, their names, everything. Everything was stripped away. They want to even control your religion, to the point to where they have to involve themselves with, especially when it comes time to vote. They make deals with some of these shady pastors and stuff. I want you to lead your congregation. Not so much now, but I want you to tell your congregation to vote for me, and I give you X amount of dollars because I need this black vote. I don't want you to vote, but I need this black vote, so I'm gonna pay you so you can have your congregation vote for me, right? We've seen it over and over again. Religion, sex. They even want to control your sexual activity, especially when it comes to politics and even religion. You can tie politics, religion, and sex, and you can tie it all together. And a good example of tying it all together is that campaign what's that guy, that gay man, and Trina did, no voting, no vucking, no voting, no vucking. That was so disrespectful to black voters, in my opinion. It was disrespectful to black peoples. So you want to control, you telling these people, if you don't vote, you don't get the vuck. So like the only thing we do, yeah, South Sea Santana, right? The only thing we do is sit around and do nothing. We're lazy, but we got enough energy to vuck. But you ain't even gonna be able to vuck if you don't vote, right? So that's even attempting to control your sexual activity. That is crazy. You see the subliminals? It's called power domination, right? It don't make no sense. But the system is still, even to this day, attempting to control our behavior in our areas of life. In our areas of life. You really got to think about it. Like, for real. You know, the system, via the Willie Lynch letter, is a perfect example. The system, it wants to program us to remain oppressible. Okay? It wants to remain oppressible. It wants us to remain powerless. They don't want you to have any political influence, no economic influence. We know that money is power in this country. That's why they got to keep you poor, because if they can keep you powerless and oppressible, they are keeping us oppressed. That is a way that they are keeping us oppressed, right? That is the way. That is a few ways, but that is the power dynamic. Those are the dynamics of white supremacy, power domination, right? Klaus says, I think that we also need to value our vote. We absolutely need to value our vote. Right. Not freely get voted away. You're right, Klaus. Right. No representation and real tangibles. No vote. Right. Hold these people accountable. I've said it at the beginning of the video, Klaus. I've said it over and over again. You know. And so, but you're absolutely right about that. After we vote them in, we don't hold them accountable. They don't hear from us anymore, and we don't hear from them anymore until it's time for them to be reelected. You know why? It's because we don't hold them accountable. We just hope, put them in there, vote them in there, and hope they're going to do the right thing. And I said that earlier. We won't even go back over that again. You know? And so, yeah. And I almost feel like we're ignored and not respected by the world. Absolutely. Because of propaganda. They want you to think that. Also, it feels like we are stuck in a bubble. You're absolutely right. But you know what? The root, they want you to remain stuck in that bubble. So when you get a black man, in particular a black man, willing to stand up and advocate for himself, not only himself, but his people, that makes them nervous because, oh, Lord, are they going to burst the bubble? Are the melanators going to come in on us because we fear retribution? Are they gonna gain a black? Are they gonna gain a collective backbone and start coming for what's rightfully theirs? We got to keep them in the bubble. So you're right about that bubble, because power domination makes they want you to stay in that bubble because they feel secure when you're in that bubble. So that's a great analogy. Mm-hmm. You're right about that. Mm-hmm. I pray Jerry does the right thing for Abrams one. I do too, Nunu. I do too. And that's another. Ain't that amazing about? See, Stacy, they kind of use Stacy and they pushed her to the side, right? But Stacy is a female. She's a black woman. So white male patriarchy, it doesn't put any stop. Now, she made them stand up and take notice when she flipped Georgia. But what they were also, not only were they afraid that a woman flipped Georgia, they were afraid that behind her was going to come a man or a group of black men that were willing to do the same thing. Okay? So it shocked them that Abrams did it because she is a woman. And we know that white male patriarchy does not respect women. It does not respect women. Okay? But she shocked them though. But what they don't want is for a black man to come in and do what she did, because then there would be a punch in the gut. They were shocked by what she did. But if Abrams would have been a black man, that would have been a punch in the gut. They weren't going to be able to stand that. That was just absolutely not going to work for them. You know, but she is a woman. And so, okay. They just use her and kick her to the curb, right? Now, Warnock, they done pitted Warnock against Herschel Walker, right? They pitted Warnock, somebody that is overly qualified to hold the seat, right? They pit him against what? A entertainer, a athlete, somebody dumb as a box of rocks, a head coon in charge. They want that head coon in charge. So what they did was pit him against Warnock because they thinking that people are going to be more inclined to vote for him. Now, they didn't pit Warnock against a white man. They didn't pit him against a white man because of what Stacey Abrams did. So they found a coon black man to pit him against, which is Herschel Walker. And they feel safe with him being the candidate. Number one, he dumb as a box of rocks, so they can control him, right? Because he's just going to be the cover or the figurehead. You know, that's because if he's voted in, it's a whole, white system behind him that's really going to run the state, right? He's just going to be the figurehead. That's what they're going to get with Herschel Walker. But they chose him because he's a well-known athlete. That's what I meant by entertainer. So he's easily pliable because he's dumb as a box of rocks, and they can control him. He ain't nothing but a coon. That's all. So they pit Warnock against him, which really devalues both of them, honestly, if you're thinking about it, because Warnock is overly qualified, but he got to deal with this fool over here that don't know nothing. That's ignorant as all get out. So that's why they did it, because they wanted to devalue both of them. That is why that's going on right now. And I'm not even going to be shocked if Herschel Walker wins. I'm literally not going to be shocked if he wins. Because that means the system wins. It's like I said, he's just going to be the figurehead. That's all. That's all. He ain't running nothing. Not a thing. He won't have a single solitary original thought into it. He has no idea of how politics really work, right? He's just getting up there and saying something. Somebody probably talked him into it. Well, more than likely somebody talked him into it. Honestly, because he was a Trump supporter. So they said, hey, let's pit these niggas against themselves and make them both look stupid. Now, if Herschel win, because the niggas love entertainment, they love their entertainers and their athletes, so we're going to put him against Warnock, right? Which devalues Warnock, and he's, like I said, he's overly competent to actually fill this seat. He knows what he's doing, But let's pit him against Herschel Walker. They'll choose Herschel Walker because they love their athletes and entertainers. And we get him in there. We get him in the seat, and we can run him. We can tell him what to do. Okay? So that's why they did that. Y'all sidetrack me. So anyway, I want to give an example of white supremacy, power domination, right? Let me show you how tricky they are and how dirty they are, right? So let me hurry up. I ain't trying to hold y'all all day. I'm sure it's other stuff y'all got to listen to, right? But I just really want to get this in here because it is, and that's right. We are not, they know that we are not as dumb as they want the world to think. It's propaganda, but they fear retribution. So they got to put forth all that propaganda. We talked about that earlier, Nunu, when it came to Kanye and Kyrie. They got to push forth all of the stuff that I put in the title of the video. That's why they do that propaganda, because they want the world to think that you dumb and you don't know nothing, because they fear retribution at the end of the day. Okay? Thank you, Fifi. So let me give an example, right, of how insidious white supremacy, power domination is, right? So we know that the system attempts to keep us programmed, and a lot of us are still programmed even to this day. It attempts to keep us programmed, so that we can remain oppressible, powerless, and oppressed. Because collectively, we are still powerless and oppressed collectively when it comes to the world stage, like power and economics. We are systematically oppressed collectively as a people. Honestly. So it's just like they said in 1862, right? What happened in 1862? Right? Let's do a little history lesson. So in 1862, they said that we were what? Emancipated. They said in AC 62, the melanated peoples were emancipated, but what they didn't say is we were freed, or we were no longer enslaved or oppressed. They simply said that we were emancipated. That's what it said. We were emancipated. They didn't say we were freed. They didn't say that we were no longer enslaved or oppressed. They said we are emancipated. There was a reason for that, right? Right? So the reason why they did that, the system did that, is because we were simply being moved to another stage in the plan for power domination, to remain in control of a people. They know that the system that they originally had, which was slavery and that chattel slavery, that system was no longer viable. right? Because the country was growing and times were changing because of the industrial era. They had to move us to another stage when it comes to power domination, right? So they emancipated you, but they did not free you. Okay. They did not say you were no longer enslaved or oppressed. That's why you never received, our ancestors never received their 40 acres and a mule. Okay. They were simply moving us from one stage to another stage, right? We know that in the Reconstruction era, that gave our elders and ancestors the illusion of freedom, right? Because we were building up our own cities, right? We always talk about Black Wall Street. There were many Black Wall Street. There were many progressive Black communities during the Reconstruction era, right? So that did what? You were spending your black dollars, and your black dollars were circulating in your own communities, right? We had schools, we had colleges, we had hospitals, everything, hotels, everything that they had, we had built for ourselves in our own communities, minding our own business, just trying to live our lives thinking that we were free, that we were no longer enslaved, right? That we were freed, not realizing that they said that we were only emancipated, not freed. Okay, still oppressed, but they wanted to give you that illusion of freedom. That is what the Reconstruction era did. Okay, but then, up pops old Jim Crow, because our ancestors and elders started doing too good. Okay, they started doing too good. They did not expect freed slaves, emancipated slaves, to do as well as they were doing. They expected you to just kind of wander around and become like sharecroppers, and migrate to the north to work in the steel mills and places like that, right? They didn't expect you, our ancestors and elders, to start to build up their own communities, and build up their own economic base, build their own generational wealth. They didn't expect that. They were shocked by that. So let's march in old Jim Crow. Okay. Then came the Jim Crow era, right? Because they had to pivot, because they were shocked that our people were doing that amongst themselves. Because at one point in time, we realized that we had to collectively work together. Even though they didn't give us our 40 acres and a mule that was promised to us, we didn't ask for it. It was promised to our ancestors. Even though they didn't receive that, they still started supporting themselves, building up their own communities. A lot of those communities, like Black Wall Street and Tulsa, Redwood. Like I said, there were many, many, many progressive Black communities, right, with wonderful economic base, right. That's why back then a lot of Black people were Republican. A lot of people might not realize that they were doing for self. They weren't asking the government for nothing. They only wanted to be left alone, because they were surviving. Not only were they surviving, they were thriving. They were thriving. And because they were thriving, that's what scared the man. That scared the system. So, like I said, in march old Jim Crow. Okay, to take away that illusion, right? Okay, to put you back in your place, so to speak. We got to put these N words back in their place. So let's roll out the old Jim Crow laws, okay, and take away or burn down everything that they worked so hard to build via the Reconstruction era, right? Because they are working to get out from up under our power domination. If they keep building up these communities and they keep building up these economic structures, they're going to be able to compete with us. And because we fear retribution, we can't have that. We can't have that. So we got to do something. And what they did was Jim Crow. And when they introduced the Jim Crow era laws, what did it do? Snatch that illusion right away. They snatched it right away from us, right? because we were doing too good. We were going to be able to compete. Wasn't asking them for nothing. Only want to be left alone. That's all. But nope, that wasn't good enough. Snatched it right away from you. Right? So a perfect example of that is like a pimp and his prostitutes, right? Let's just use it as an example, right? Hey, Libra Butterfly. Hey, everybody, please hit the like button. Let's use the pimp and the prostitute as an example, right? So, how does the pimp retain control over his prostitutes? What does he do? What is the first thing that he does to remain in control or retain control of his prostitutes, to get them to keep doing what they want? What does he do? He builds them up only to break them down, right? He does it over and over again until they submit to his will, until they feel like they are powerless, right? So that is like what has been done to our people, especially our black men, decade after decade after decade, century after century, for over 400 years. Build them up only to knock them down. Build up Kanye West, knock him back down. Build up Kyrie Irving, knock him back down. Build up Nick Cannon, knock him back down. They get out of order, knock them back down. Build them up, give them the illusion of freedom. When they step out of line, knock them back down. You just emancipated, nigga. You ain't free. Okay? So that is a very good example, in my opinion, when you think about it that way. That's what they have done for centuries, like I said, to our people. Build them up, knock them down. Build them up, knock them down. To the point to where our black men, a lot of our black men, should I say collectively, don't want to martyr themselves. You know? So I said before that it was absolutely Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson, Prince, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Even some of our even older entertainers than that, but before Michael Jackson, and Prince, what was that man's name? Mm, I was reading about him the other day. Was it Coltrane or? Oh my goodness, I wanted to talk about that. I just glanced over it. Oh my God, it's a movie on it's a docu-series on Netflix about that man, the way that he was done. I can't think of his name right now, but I'm gonna do a video about it. Miss Olivia, did you hear about the text Kanye posted? Yes, I did. I saw those texts that he posted from his trainer, and we know that now the trainer is the handler, right? There are a lot of handlers in Hollywood. Okay, we know that there are a lot of gatekeepers in Hollywood. There are a lot of gatekeepers and handlers in politics, in the political world. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the system of power domination, right? Because a lot of our people, unfortunately, don't even realize what's going on. Paul Robeson went to Russia instead of dealing with us here. It's deep, Claudia. You're right about that. You're right. I just want to touch on that because I don't always hear a lot of people talking about white supremacy, power domination. That is one. They don't never break down the system and what it means. Okay, because if you think about it, in a lot of incidents, in a lot of circumstances, even to this day, they still control the economics, the education, the entertainment, the labor, the law, the politics, the religion, and even our sexual activity and war. Because if you ever break out of the bonds of power domination, the next step is going to have to be what? Martyrdom. With martyrdom comes what? War. War is what? Retribution. And that is what they fear the most. Right? So I just want to talk about this real quick today because of the political climate. We know that Orange Hair Frump is going to run for is fully intended on running for office again. Do I think he'll win this time? Honestly, I don't think he's going to win, but I think DeSantis Now he could still win, but I think that DeSantis is going to give him a run for his money. Honestly, I don't think that Joe Biden will be elected for another 4 years. You know, number one, he too old anyway, and so is Trump. You know, they need a part of the reason that we have with the political climate in this country is because we got all these batshit crazy old men still up in Washington running things. In Russia, they call them the oligarchs. They're the oligarchs here too. They're the oligarchs here too. Not saying anything would change drastically, but you need a new crop of Anglos in there, like Beto O'Rourke. I like him. Like he is what he is. He ain't gonna do nothing for our people, but I can deal with somebody like him. You know, he got a lot of energy. He want to do the right thing. Of course, when you actually get into that political realm, it'll be a whole different thing because they realize that hey, all of these grand visions grand designs that I had in my head, it really ain't that. It really ain't that type of party. You know, because we know that this world, not only this country, but this world is actually run by only a handful, what they say, 200 or 300 men that are not melanated, right? Some of them call them cabals. You know, you can call them whatever you want to call them. People call them a lot of stuff: Illuminati, cabal, secret societies. You know, only a small group. Everybody else, including us, we're just pawns. You know, you just had this conversation, Tiffany. Okay. Thanks again for this. Oh, you're welcome, Cloud. I guess this isn't important enough for 1K to be in the chat. But that's right. The right people are here. Absolutely. Absolutely. This ain't for everybody, chat. No, absolutely not. It would never be that. Ever. Because of propaganda. Like I said, people like to live in Disneyland. Right? Why do you think the Untouchables were so good at creating Hollywood? Okay? They got an eye for entertainment because they know if they can put you in a dream state, okay, you can be controlled, right? That's why the Untouchables are so good at something like Disney or so good at Hollywood in general and so good at picking out entertainment, right? Look at what they're doing to the rappers. You know, they sure is being unalived, and I think it's for insurance money because they pretty much ripped hip hop to shreds. There are no true rappers anymore, and even the ones that get out and try to rap, they're only good for a while, and then when they're no longer economically viable, they get shot by another black man so that they can collect the insurance. Imagine that. Y'all think about that. Mm. But we go around saying, oh, what do you call it? They were what were they? They were like sacrificed. Yes. Yeah. Now I do believe in some instances that when it comes to that synagogue of Satan, I don't put sacrifice or nothing else. Uh, I don't think they're above any of that, you know. But I also think that some of them are simply killed for the insurance money because they are no longer economically viable. Allegedly, this is just the way I'm thinking. So let me put allegedly on the end of that because I'm just thinking this. I don't know any of this for a fact. That is not my world, but I am a porch watcher. Okay, and what I do is sit back and watch. Even when it comes to this sector, I sit back and watch. I don't have a storyline because I'm a porch watcher. I sit back and watch. Okay. I do commentary on what I see. Kind of like the watchman on the wall. I'm not a watchman, but I'm a porch watcher. Okay. Jimmy said I do too. They're taking out right a load of money. Them insurance policies, absolutely. I honestly believe what happened. Absolutely, Tiffany. That's what I believe. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Allegedly. Allegedly. Uh-huh. People got to look at it that way too. You know, worth more dead than alive. Worth more dead than alive. You got to think about that. You know, worth more dead than alive. Mm-hmm. Especially if you got a voice. especially if you got a voice. Mm-hmm. And so yeah. Oh, I made my I didn't keep y'all too late. I was trying to stay on task, right? So anyway, I'm gonna get off here. But is there anything anybody wants to say? I dropped the link for y'all if y'all want me to. Claude, you want to get up and come up and say something about anything that I said? I want you guys to let me know what you thought about the conversation that we just had about power domination. I think it's important for us to dig deeper into what's going on with us when it comes to our psyche. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you don't acknowledge, if you don't know what's going on with you, you won't be able to fix it, you know? And so, yeah. hmm Thank you, Fifi. Fifi says, thanks, Miss O, for this education. Oh, you're very welcome on behalf of those who don't understand. Thank you. That means a lot, Fifi. I think this death about to cause a war. Oh, is that right, Tia? Oh, wow. Whether we like it or not, we're literally at crossroads for the present system. You're right, Cloud. Right, the dismantling of it. I agree with that crossroads. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because a little bit at a time, you can see an awakening. It might not happen. I might not live to see it, Cloud, and you might not either. But it's happening a little bit a little bit at a time. And so for that reason, I got hope. Sure do. I'm coming in late as usual, but I still thank you, Lady T. Girl. You're gonna have to roll it back with some good conversation today, in my opinion. In my opinion. And so, but yeah, I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing an awakening a little bit at a time. I really do. But anyway, Tiffany said, I'm gonna have to read about. I really enjoy when you give us a nasty old piece of history lesson. Thank you, Tiffany. That's all right. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? And so, but I told y'all a couple of videos back that I was just gonna have to start getting into my old content again. Um, it's only so much of the nonsense I can deal with. Y'all know I can't talk about one or two people forever. I really cannot. Uh, and when I'm done with a thing, I'm pretty much done with it. But I've been really feeling, feeling the tug. Um, hey, George, how you doing, love? Thanks for joining. George, if you came in late, please read about the video back. I think you might like some of the content that I had today concerning the black man. I think you might like it, George. hmm We had a group insuring homeless people. Then, child, I don't put nothing past nobody. But Fifi, I've heard of that being done. hmm Absolutely. Shoot, you got family members doing that with other family members. We done seen them Lifetime movies, child. Some folks move different. Honey, some folks move different, child. hmm I love commentary that jogs the brain. I always got to keep exercising that. But I know that's right, Tia. What's the old song by Bob Dylan? From the Watchmen movie. The times they are changing. Okay, George, thank you. Yeah, red ball it back if you will. I think you'll like some of that commentary. I really do. That's right, Cloud. They are changing. Like I said, they can't hold all our black men down. Eventually, they're gonna martyr themselves, and they're gonna say, "I don't care. I got a voice, and I'm gonna use it." Cause Kyrie, it took many days for him to issue that apology. He did not want to do that. I don't know what they had to say to him to get him to say I'm sorry about anything because he didn't feel like he done anything wrong, and I don't feel like he done anything wrong either. All he did was share a freaking video. Okay? He didn't write the book, make the movie, or nothing. He just shared the freaking video. So you gonna call yourself buck breaking him because he shared the video. Okay. All right. All right. They got away for a few years, Fifi. I heard that, but yeah, I think that our black men, um, I think that slowly but surely they're awakening. You're welcome, Fifi. And like I said, I might not live to see it, but one day You can even see it in our young people right now. These teenagers, especially the little our boys, they don't seem to have that veil of fear, anymore. It's because what they did was they forgot to continue um to really um overtly instill fear in the black man, right? So they try to do it covertly now, but they still are shooting them down the street when they realize that they didn't do enough, that they forgot to instill enough fear in the black man. What they start doing, shooting them down the street like dogs. But even that doesn't have some of our younger black men scared anymore. You see what I'm saying? So after a while, like I said, you're gonna start to martyr yourself because you're tired of being. If you call yourself a man, you don't want to be ran by any kind of system. By any, you're going to want to overthrow that system of power domination. You know, and so yeah, and I think that's what you saw when it came to Kyrie. And I believe that we are going to see much more of that. You saw how many black men stood behind him and are still standing behind him because they're tired of that. You can't tell me who I am. You tried to do it for centuries. I'm sick of you telling me who I am. That's what Kyrie was saying. I know who I am. And you can't tell me no different. See, that is waking up. That is no longer wanting to be controlled. That's what that looked like. You know. Now, is he ready to always martyr himself? No. But the next person might be. And the next person after that might be. You don't know. You know. That's why even after he so-called apologized, number one, he didn't go as far as they wanted him to go. You know. And number two, they said it took too long. Oh, okay. They felt like they weren't able to control the narrative enough. Take it out of context. Keep it out of context. They didn't feel like they had enough time to do that. You know. So yeah. But anyway, that's what I got. Like I said, I hope that you guys got out and voted today. Whoever it is that you chose to vote for, I hope that you exercised your right to vote. That is what's most important to me, that you exercise your right to vote. No matter who you vote for, you have to vote for who you believe in your heart is the lesser evil, like I said, and I hope that you guys did that. Because they're trying to once again, take that right away from you. A little bit at a time. That's what they're doing. Okay? So that's why we have to keep exercising. Okay? But that is all a part of what? Power domination. Power domination. Is that what we talked about? That's what we talked about. In every step, controlling every stage of your life. From your behavior to your social life to your very environment. That is how they keep you oppressed. They control everything about you. Economics to sex and war. And everything in between. What we say, religion, entertainment, labor, law, politics, everything. Everything. Education, everything. They have to remain in control of that so that they can remain in control of you. But like I said, our people are waking up a little bit at a time. It is what it is. And they ain't going to be able to stop everybody, right? So collectively, once again, we don't need to focus on being unified. We need to focus on being on code, okay? That's what we need to focus on, being on code. We need to be unified under the flag of being on code. No, I haven't, Lady T. Is that a content creator here on YouTube? I don't know who that is. I never watched them anyway. But anyway, that's what we need to focus on. Being unified. Being on code. Being on code. Because if you're worried about us being unified, That's never going to happen. But it is possible to be on code, to advocate for your own people first. It's absolutely possible to do that. Absolutely achievable. Especially if you get enough black men, which are our natural leaders, whether we want to admit to it or not. It's just that we have black women that have had to take up the slack for so long, you know. Okay, Lady Tia. But if you get enough black men that are willing to stand up and take their rightful place and do right when it comes to their rightful place, that those will be your leaders. And that is what they fear more than anything. That is what they fear. They fear true black male leadership. Okay? Because when you are truly a leader of your people, you are willing to die for your people. That is what they fear. And have many more, not just you, and have many more behind you. So if one fall, another one be right up in they be right there to take up the space, right? If that one fall, it's another one coming right behind him to fill the spot. That is true leadership. They fear that because they fear retribution. That's why they have to control via power domination. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hit the one if you enjoyed this commentary. We know that it's not for everybody, but I felt good doing this commentary today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I didn't feel like talking about nonsense. I really did not. His commentary, it's all about being on code and what the government don't tell. Oh wow, Lady Chill. Okay. I vote for or against. As long as you vote, Fifi. Thank you, Almighty Isis. Of course, it starts with being a leader in your own. That's right, Cloud. In your own household. That's what I meant by doing the right thing. You know, the way that they're controlling your physical and social environment is by you not taking lead of your own family. You not building a strong black family. Hey, Miss Dovey. That is the way that they are controlling your physical and social environment. Because when you don't have a man at the head doing the right thing, being head of his household, that's a failed power structure. And so I absolutely agree with you, Cloud. You are absolutely right. Absolutely. Thank you, Tiffany. Miss Dover, you came in a little late. I hope you red ball it back. And so anyway, let me get off here. Thank you guys for saying that you enjoyed it. Please be part of the replay gang. I really enjoyed doing this video. I'm trying to get back in the rhythm of doing some of my other content, you know. And so it is what it is. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. Hey, Queen Aries. But if you haven't voted, like I said, please get out and exercise your vote. Don't listen to these coon and coonettes telling you that your vote don't count, because they are doing the work of the system. They're doing the work for the system, right? That's what they're doing for the system, right? They're literally doing the work of the system, and they're doing it for free, and they are literally working against their own best interest. Now make sense. Oh, thank you, Fifi. If you scroll down past the beef videos, I still got some of my old content on them videos. Enjoy what I caught, but I will read about. Thank you, Kings Nina. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining me. I'm going to get off of here. I didn't want to hold you too long, but I did want to have this conversation today, and it felt good having it. We're gonna close with Cloud's fun fact, which is, he says, fun fact: a man never has to say that he's the leader of his household. Right? That's actually understood. I know that's right. You ain't got to say it. You just got to be it. If you got to say it, then you're not it. You're absolutely right about that, Cloud. It's automatic. It should be automatic, right? It's a given, right? If you've taken your proper place, it's a given. Hey, Miss Philadelphia. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Philadelphia. Yeah, y'all be part of the replay gang if you will. I appreciate it so much. But anyway, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. No, worry, mind your own. Y'all be part of the replay gang, please. I think y'all will like this commentary today. That's okay. It's no worries. Thank you so much for popping in when you did. I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys, right? We know that this commentary is not for everybody. It's not the most popular. These are not the most popular conversations over here, but they are such as they are. And we know that when I get on here and I want to talk about a thing, whatever it is, I'm gonna talk about it. All right. It just it's just what it is. And today I felt like talking about power domination. Okay. But now I'm getting ready to go. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Y'all be safe. A lot of y'all said that y'all was going to vote after you get off from work. I hope that you will do so. Thank you, Almighty Isis. You know, exercise that right to vote. It counts because it's your right. All right. And you don't want to be flip about it. Okay. And so, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Saida. But anyway, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Okay. Peace.